Alright, so this week I received two new toys. I received here the LG G4 for Sprint, which I will be shooting the second half of this video with, so we could see how good the camera is and the video recording capabilities. And the other toy basically is the HP Elitebook Revolve 810 G3. And we're gonna go ahead and start off with that right here. Here is, I guess, the laptop, the booklet and the instruction manuals, the CDs, the recovery stuff, and I think it even includes a Windows 8.1 copy in here. It originally XP Pro, Windows XP Pro, and I went ahead and upgraded directly to 10. Everything that comes with the Elitebook 810 G3 by HP. Inside of here I found the AC adapter, which is actually quite small, to be fairly honest. An 11.6 inch laptop. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out. Okay, so here we have the lid, and you'll see that there's gonna be a minor expansion there from the case, and that's just used to open up the laptop and separate it from the keyboard and the screen. Here to the left hand side of the laptop, you'll see that there's basically nothing. Down here you'll see the fans, which actually cool off the Intel i7 5600 processor. To the rear of the laptop, you're going to see the AC/DC adapter. That's where you plug it in. USB 3 connector, the expansion slot for the screen, and then right there we see the Kensington lock, another USB 3, and the network adapter section. That right there is for the docking station that comes for it, the audio and microphone input, and a micro SD card slot. Yes, not an SD card slot, but a micro SD card slot. Here's the volume rockers, the rotating screen lock, so when you flip the laptop, the screen doesn't rotate, and the power on and off switch. In the front, you basically see nothing, as I mentioned before. Here at the bottom, we have the battery, which is somewhat easy to remove with one hand. The whole thing is actually quite easy in general. Here, maybe with one hand. Let me see. Yes. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so here we have the battery, which lasts about 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours according to HP. There is where we use the SIM card for data, which is, from my understanding, only usable with Verizon and AT&T or AT&T. Internals, here is a hard drive, here is a memory. This uses an M.2 Sata, I think 80 millimeter hard drive. Currently, this unit comes with 4 gigabytes already on the motherboard, and then it lets you change one of the RAM slots. So I'm actually getting in an 8 gigabyte RAM card probably next week. So I'll make it a total of 12, which is the max that you could actually put on this laptop. 12 gigabytes of RAM, and that's a 1600 DDR3. The hard drive right now, it has a 256, which probably will get replaced by a 500 gigabyte hard drive soon. And right here we have the NFC. I guess this is where the antenna is for that. All right, and yeah, it came with Windows 7 Pro. This one, I guess, they had the disc for Windows 8 Pro, and it just got updated to Windows 10 Pro not too long ago. Overall, it's pretty well built. It's actually quite heavy for a laptop this size. Here we have the Revolve 810 logo, the HP logo. All right, and let's try to open it. All right, so as you can see by the reflection, the screen is kind of glossy. This is what the unit comes with. I guess the little cloth that separates and stops the screen from getting scratched by the keyboard in case the box gets damaged. All right, so let's power it on. One. Yeah, I have it connected to my Bluetooth speakers itself. So you have this chiclet, I guess, Microsoft, look at Microsoft, Apple style keyboard with different icons. It uses the FN keys a lot, which is right here. And right here we have basically to make the screen brighter, to use a different port to go to sleep, battery information, to mute, volume lower, higher, to the microphone, to mute it and unmute it, to make the screen, I guess, dimmer, brighter. I haven't tried this one actually. This is for the Wi-Fi if you want to enable it or disable it. The number lock key, the break key, the print screen, and the system requirements. So overall, oh, right here we have the scroll, the pause, the page down, the page up. All basically you'll have to click on the FN. Overall, yeah, the key is pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and input my information. All right, so I guess we'll see how long it takes. Yeah, once it loads up, I did have a Windows update, so to say that it didn't boot up fast enough is kind of unfair. And if anything, what I'll do is that I'll do another boot up later at the end of the video, so that way you guys get to see how big it, I guess how fast or how slow it is. Overall, the laptop does boot up pretty fast. It is running an M.2 Sata hard drive, which is actually pretty efficient. Right now, with Windows 10, actually, with the upgrade, I'm going to go ahead and click on the screen information. I have it set to 25%, which is actually pretty bright, and I can do most of my work with that, or 50. All right, we have 50, then we have 75, and now we have 100, which is really bright. Actually, I just got an update. Let's see what it is. Okay, updates were installed. That's what it says right there. So, yeah, there we go. Let's focus in on that. So it might have taken a little bit extra to boot up. Yeah, it has tablet mode, note if I want to take notes, all settings, Bluetooth, VPN setting, battery saver, connect to a Wi-Fi or whatnot, the brightness, the Wi-Fi, quiet hours. So it kind of just doesn't really give you any signs or messages throughout those hours. You have GPS located on it, and airplane mode, just in case you do go out. It's already there. All right, so up to now, I have Lightroom and Photoshop. This is going to be more of a realistic test based on what people use laptops for. It's not going to be like, well, we ran multiple benchmarks. So I'm going to go ahead and load up Lightroom. And I had I was working on a project beforehand, and we'll see how fast it starts up. All right. I still haven't gotten used to the double tapping. So yeah, Lightroom loads up pretty quickly on it. I was able to effectively edit stuff on Lightroom pretty efficiently without issues. It was actually pretty quick, to be fairly honest. And I guess that also has to do with the fact that the hard drive is half full. It's not really full whatsoever, so it's able to work a lot easier, a lot faster due to that. It is still loading, which I guess is doing all the presets and stuff like that. And we'll see how long that lasts. In the meantime, though, as it's loading, you can see the sign on top of the screen. The mouse is quite huge. That's something I really haven't gotten used to. This is a New York City Metro card. And we'll go ahead, well, it finished loading. So that took a bit of time, actually. But a New York City Metro card, as a point of reference, which is as big as a credit card, this is how big the mouse is. It's pretty much widescreen mouse for some or trackpad, which is pretty huge actually. My fingers are pretty normal sized, so it's pretty. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and close that off, and I'm gonna go ahead and load Photoshop, and we can see that Photoshop basically loaded up instantaneously without issues. That was actually really quick. Yeah. So yeah, the main reason I got this laptop was I travel quite often, and sometimes to edit pictures and stuff like that. I could do it on a tablet, but you don't get in the export, you don't get the high quality I guess, images. So I went ahead and got something that would be useful for me where I could edit all the stuff and not have to re-edit once I get home in front of my desktop or laptop. Sorry, let's close that out. All right, so the screen. The part of the cool thing about this laptop is that it's actually pretty quick and it's multi-useful in many ways. The screen does rotate. What I noticed is that it doesn't rotate to you pushing it that way, being pushed that way. You have to rotate it that way. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. All right, so you could have it set to display mode like that, where you could type and move stuff around and people won't really see you. Actually, no, the mouse and stuff like that just kind of stops. So it's actually there on display mode, and you could have a presentation while you're talking. I guess a small group of people. You also see the ports here. So if you have the USB, as I mentioned before, everything is right there. Okay, now the tablet mode. Here we have it on tablet mode. And we go ahead and pick this up. And there is the tablet mode. It takes a second for the gyroscope to kind of kick in and the screen rotate. But overall, it's actually pretty good and efficient in the rotating. I usually, if I do grab it, I don't like to have my right hand on it. I usually use my left hand because of this bezel that you have on the side right here, which lets your thumb just kind of rest up on it a little bit. Mind you, it does weigh. It's not something that you could freely just have like this the whole time. You will ultimately have to kind of switch it like this to palm the back of it to be efficient and stuff like that. What will happen is that it'll get stuck like this or the other way. You can see right here my hand is Control Alt. Yeah, it'll get stuck like this sometimes. So you have to press Control Alt down. If it works. Nope. Control down up, like I mentioned before. And there it is. It'll go ahead and rotate the screen to different areas. Let's see how fast, I guess, Chrome can load up. I do have a couple of extensions on it. All right, so it's already loaded with Google. You can't really see it because it's really bright. There we go. Let me go ahead and do that again really quick. So let me close it. Yep, so it's already loaded. It just, for some strange reason, my Chrome opens in a blank page originally. But yeah, it's pretty fast overall. Mind you, this is the i7-5600 Intel chip. Up to now, my real life tests, I've had the laptop on for about 6 hours while typing and web surfing. Nothing really strenuous on it, and the battery life has been really efficient. It does say 3 hours because the screen right here, I guess it's set to 4 hours. But the screen is at max, and I don't really see a place where you will use the screen at max. I usually keep it around 25 to 50% most of the time. It's pretty bright for me, unless I'm doing photo editing, which then I usually keep it at 100% because I need to see how the colors react and the contrast. It does come with a stylus pen, the button, the clicker on it. You can kind of see it, and it's made by HP. It does come with a battery and a thing, I guess, a string to kind of keep the pen around your neck or around your wrist and stuff like that so you don't lose it. Yeah, with the mouse, you will get it does have the multi-touch capability, so let's go to news really quick. And right here, we have the 2 fingers to go up and down. If you want to, I guess, make something bigger, you could do that. Spread your fingers apart. So it goes, now it's set to 75, which is, okay, so 2 fingers. 3 fingers doesn't do anything. If you're trying to disable the mouse, you go right here. And it's disabled. And to enable it, you double click again right here at the corner, and it's already enabled back up again. So yeah, overall, this is the HP Elitebook Revolve 810 G3. It has an Intel i7 5600 processor, which is actually pretty good. It's running on 8 gigs of RAM, and it has 256 gigabytes of hard drive space. Yeah, there we go. We see it's running at 2600 megahertz. Speed of the RAM, it does come with 8 gigabytes as I mentioned before. I guess it's reading one of the slots right now only, and slot 2, and yeah, that's probably integrated to the motherboard, that's why I won't read it. Graphics, it does have an Intel HD graphics 5600 on it, which has been pretty efficient actually. I've been able to run Team Fortress, which is one of the few games I actually do play. Mind you, I'm playing out over Wi-Fi. I'm not playing directly onto the network. Alright, so let's see, for fast movement, let's see Scout. Alright, so here I have Scout, and I'm getting 61 to 58. Yeah, the frame rate is actually really good. As you can see, it's usually in the 60s and the high 50s. Yeah, so it seems to be pretty adequate. Let's go to options really quick so you can see the settings here and the video settings that I have. Yeah, and it's actually is 1366 by 768 native. Let's go to advanced settings. And as you can see, everything's set on high, enabled the color correction. Shadow details medium, water detail reflect world, no anti-aliasing mode, filtering mode 2x, wait for vertical sync disabled, multi-core rendering enabled, motion blur disabled, and high dynamic range full. So yeah, it's pretty much set to the highest settings possible. I haven't really had any problems with the screen resolution. It could have been higher, but then again, whatever, it's fine. Overall, it's a great little laptop. I haven't had any issues with it. It hasn't really overheated. It hasn't crashed. Only actually crashed once when it was updating Windows, but I blame that on Windows. It has an ultralight processor, and which a lot of companies have been using without a fan. And this one actually does come with a fan, and it's right here, as you can see. Yeah, so it keeps everything actually a lot cooler. So when I'm editing photos or rendering, editing minor videos, the fan kicks in, which is basically noiseless. And I'm able to use the full extent of the 2600 megahertz rather than throttling itself and going down on speed. Yeah, so if you have any questions or any comments about the video, or if you want me to try something, go ahead and let me know, and I'll go ahead and try to be accommodating to your comments. Yeah, so if you like it, thumbs up. If you didn't like it, thumbs down. Yeah, and that way I could learn something, and hopefully for the next review, it'll be a lot more thorough, if there's anything to be thorough about. All right, enjoy.